Hey, awesomes. All right, so we're going to talk about Project 5B. And I talked about in the overview video for this week that we kind of think about Project 5B as it kind of, as it does in the Project 5B assignment description here on our Canvas page. Talks about this superstructure for that's in our, you can find in our textbook for chapter 11. And so I referred last time that you could think about also looking at chapter 13 in making it as the superstructure of a recommendation report, which is very similar to the proposal. A few minor exceptions. So I kind of want to, I've got another document here I want to show you. So the kind of overall outline, you've got so one team member does the introduction for the entire presentation and kind of talks about these 5 things. And then it says the subsequent presenters then follow the outline for a successful presentation while presenting their proposal, which is this: forecast your section of the presentation, use slides, etc., right? And then make sure that you, one thing I think is very, very clear, I think, for a lot of my feedback, which I think most of you do pretty well, make sure that you pass the mic, right? Introduce the next presenter, and then the next presenter accepts kind of the mic, if you will, right? By acknowledging, say, thank you, Sarah, thank you, Ibrahim, thank you, Isaac, etc., right? So when it's passed to you, acknowledge the person who passed it to you for a nice seamless transition. So you got the introduction, we go back to this, right? So you have one person do that, and then you'll split up this section here, right? These are the parts of the actual part of your proposal. So I've kind of given you like a little expanded view-ish, right? So there's the introduction to the entire presentation. And then each part of the presentation doesn't have to have necessarily 4. If there's more of you, you could have 5. So you introduction to the recommendation. Here's your standard introduction, basically, to your topic, right? Then someone would discuss then methods. Then someone would discuss the results of what you found in collecting data in your research, or maybe you ran a survey, whatever you did to whatever those results are from what you did in the method section. Then someone can discuss those results. And again, the kind of basic idea for those can be found here in chapter 13, but I will just kind of give you an overview. Notice in the book that from the methods to the results, and then they kind of do this results thing, and then the discussion is also kind of part of the conclusion. But I would encourage you to kind of think about it. The methods were set up to kind of in a structured way. Not that, we did some research, but think about very specifically what you did in thinking about those methods, how maybe how did they affect stakeholders? How might they affect your results, right? Your recommendations, these types of things. And then provide just the results, right? In this section, this person here would discuss what you learned from that in the sense of, okay, we surveyed X number of people. Here's what they told us, right? The methods tells you we surveyed people. Here's a kind of maybe an example of some of the survey questions in the methods. Here's why we kind of were discussing those methods. The results are, here are the results of what we garnered from those methods, right? If it's a survey, if it was whatever it was, or if it was strictly secondary research, a lot of secondary research, then discuss what you learned. Not necessarily quasi or a little bit like perhaps not necessarily a literature review, but you are presenting the results of what you discovered. Then someone then discusses those results as far as what they mean to the project, and then your last person, right, or your 6th person in this case, excuse me, bless me. Then in conclusion for the entire presentation, then this is where you're going to present the recommendation, and then of course wrap it up as you're thanking everyone for. So here's part of the conclusion for the entire present the team solutions or recommendation, summarize the main supporting points, and effectively remind your audience what you want them to remember, invite feedback, and then of course thank the audience. Excuse me again. All right, sorry. All right, so as I sneeze us out of here, okay, I apologize for that, but that's kind of gives us a basic idea of kind of what my expectation is. You're welcome to kind of play with those titles on that one for as far as what sections you need, if you need to add a section or whatever, or split it up, that's fine. Stay safe, stay awesome. Bye, guys.